Hi there, hi guys. I hope the camera lens is okay. Yeah, I've just changed the settings slightly. How you doing? What a beautiful day it is today. We've just finished. If my voice sounds a bit croaky, it's because I've started at 10 o'clock and finished at 5 and spoke all the way through 1 hour dinner hour through the first day of the Pure Energy Healing Academy course. Beautiful day, people flown from all over the world, America and everywhere. So this is a room where we've been sat and first day is all about learning how to use the spiritual tools, the shamanic tools and everything that I've used, and it helps us first of all understand how to cleanse and clear our energy whenever we do healing, which is pretty important, which you all know. Yeah, today's a great day because I was asked to talk about something that I'm being asked to talk about many times. I've never tackled the subject, and the reason why is I'll try and explain to you. Okay, Mark, is it possible if you can talk to us about addictions? Okay, I think being a personal one-to-one reader and healer over 13 years, I've seen many people with addiction. So I have a really strong understanding about addiction. However, sat here thinking about it just before I started talking about it, I thought, I suppose I'd better be really honest with you and say, I don't feel comfortable talking about addiction because I believe everybody has been on their own personal journey with this. So you could have been brought up in this world with a father who was physically abusive. You could have had a father who was an alcoholic. You could have had a mother who was an alcoholic. You could have had a brother or somebody in your family who was addicted to drugs. You could have been sexually abused as a child. You could have had many different things. And you talk about addiction being something that I could speak to the masses about and have answers to. I can't, it's impossible. Because I believe that if you've gone through an addiction, I believe the reason why you're going through this now and you're going through it is because of everything that you've been through as a child up till the moment that you started your journey, which is it could have been a shock energy, it could have been something over a given time that you've experienced and eventually kind of blew up and something happened that you couldn't cope, or you simply fell down a hole and struggled to get out through no reason at all. I know people who had beautiful upbringings and slipped down the path of doing the most terrible things you would think to themselves and to others. And for me to talk about these addictions is very difficult because each individual has their reason and their purpose for going through that particular challenge. And there is no stone throwing, there is no judging because that's ridiculous. You can't judge anybody in that respect. But you can maybe try and sit and understand that one particular person, what they're going through, and how they got to the stage where they are, and now how they're trying to move on from that stage and become stronger, because basically that's what it is. I believe they're all tests. I don't think it's anything personal, even though we see it as personal because we're brought into this world through painful situations sometimes and we kind of blame that for who we are. But I think a lot of us go through painful situations and we handle them in many different ways. So one could be, turning to drink, one could be abusing ourselves in many other different ways. One could be becoming stronger than all of that and not allowing it to affect us, and then having a life path of fighting exactly for the reasons why we were hurt and damaged. So again, I struggle with addiction to be able to speak to the masses and everybody about addiction. So I kind of want to sort of hold my hand up and say I'm not able to help you on that point, but I am able to share with you why. This is the meaning why. All I can say to you as a loving, kind soul who does understand when you go through these things is that willpower and self-worth and values are true to our next step. So just say you smoke, you like smoking, So why should I stop? Well, don't stop. Mark, I've just found out I've got cancer in my sarcophagus, and they believe it's partly because of my smoking. Okay, so what are you going to do now? Not go for treatment and still smoke. Okay, so that's fine. That's your choice, you know. Nobody can tell you what you should and shouldn't do. Your body can. Your body tells you every day what you should and shouldn't do. Whether you listen to that is a different thing. And that goes for me. You can listen to me, or you can say, well, you're not helping me. You're not telling me what I want to hear. No, because nobody can. See, with addiction, the only person who can truly help you is yourself. And there comes a point when you realise either enough is enough, or your body says enough is enough, meaning that your body is going to shut you down or do something that you then say, you know what, I might not be here for much longer because of what I'm doing. I have found something fascinating though. Funny we're talking about this. And that is, in certain villages I've seen, obviously I'm not naming anybody, I would never do that, but I have seen this pattern which is very, very interesting. And that is with people who are drinkers. They drink, and obviously they don't say they're an alcoholic because they judge being alcoholic in certain other ways. They never see themselves as an alcoholic most of the time, but they'll drink and drink and drink, and I'll watch them every day. And then something fascinating happens. One day I'll see them, and then the following week I see them and I see a different person. It's almost like the body's given up, and then they look like 100 years older. And then everything gives up in the body, and then it's a slow deterioration. Then they become ill and move into the light. I've seen that in 13 years of many people, and it seems to happen to a lot. So I think that a lot of the times we'll do something until the body shuts down and says, that's it. It could only cope with so much, then shuts down, and then all the face changes, your energy changes, everything changes. And that's when I think, wow, then I can see there's kind of like, that's it now, there's no going back. But your body's been trying to tell you all this time. So I think it's always interesting that I see this transition from the body being really strong to the body giving up. Just, that's it now, I can't do this anymore. Everything dies, like the elasticity, the eyes, the light in the eyes, the shine, the glow in them, it just disappears. And it's really quite a shock when you see it. And it's really sad, it really truly is, because I value your life, and I see you doing things to yourself that I think, wow, can you not hear what your body's saying? You know, your body is that there's only one body you've got, and you're saying, yeah, but you don't know how it feels to be an addict. You don't know how it feels to go through. No, I don't, but I have sat with many people who do. And one thing I do say, if you are a fighter against somebody who doesn't want to drink anymore, who doesn't want to do drugs, and I've been clean for 2 or 3 years, I'd say, well done you. You know, well done you. And, you know, the battle between this and being clean and pure, I say, you know what, you're adding months, years on top of your life. There's something worth doing it for. You know, that says a lot, because this life of yours is so precious. This time you have here is so precious, and I would rather live in health and happiness than having to need or want anything to, you know, to satisfied or feed something in me that I feel I need. And I think a lot of the times it's up here. It's not heartfelt. It's not past life issue. I just think it's is the suffering that we've been through, and sometimes we will do something to try and clear that suffering away. I have noticed there are many times that I've helped people on a one-to-one level, and I've noticed, not a pattern, but that sometimes if we can clear something from a past that you've really been stuck with, that you really can't move forward, and it's almost like you've boxed it and put it in a room and you don't want to know about it. Sometimes it's that what's in that box that we have to confront and look at and, you know, let go and say, you know what, I forgive it, I forgive everything that's happened, and I'm going to let it go. That sometimes helps you move on from the need to feel that you need to be addicted to something, because you don't, you know. But hey ho, I tell you something. I think a lot of us have this pattern or this energy within ourselves to always do what the rabbit does, which is like every morning certain people have a routine, and that routine is I need this. And actually, you know, some people get to the stage where they think it's an addiction, when all the time it might not even be an addiction. It might be just that you need this certain run, this certain move that you need to do every day, because then you feel satisfied by it. Just like the rabbit has to go on a certain run every day. So, you know, do I like the word addiction? I don't really like the word addiction. I just think it's something that is a challenge that we have to overcome and become stronger than, and kind of appreciate it and say, okay, that was a tough one, and you know what, well done. Pat yourself on the back. There's an eagle down there I've just seen. 2 eagles. I can't show you because they're so far down, but anyway guys, if you're watching this, love you all. Keep going, stay strong. I'm sorry I haven't got any answers for you on addiction. I really am, but I really don't feel that I can say what will help you. I really don't. Maybe this was just mumbo jumbo, and you know, Mark, that was nonsense. It didn't help. Probably didn't help. But you know what, guys? I have to be honest. When I don't feel as if I can help within a certain topic, I'll tell you and be honest. That's the only thing that I want to say. And if you're watching this and you feel that, you know, you really want to stop all of these things that are affecting your body, you're in my heart and prayers, and I know you can do it because you're amazing and you're powerful. And once you clear that away and become stronger than all of these feelings of that you need and you must have, once you've cleared that away, you can then introduce something even more beautiful, because there's some things in your life that you can want and need that are really healthy. How about wanting and needing vegetables, fruits every day, wanting and needing the most clean and beautiful, healthy food for your life? How about wanting and needing meditation, calmness, going for a walk, going to the gym, exercising? How about wanting to need that instead? So just change what you want and need, which might not be healthy for you, to something that is healthy for you, because there are certain things that are addictive that are good for you. Okay, so maybe just change it to something else. Again, I don't have the answer, but I love you. Have a lovely day, guys. Take care. From my heart to yours. Have a wonderful day. Bye.